I was really depressed this week because I did a maths test where I probably got zero because there was 4 questions that I did nothing. I did absolutely nothing. It was almost all blank, so I got zero probably. And I was really depressed about that because my CGPA for my degree is already very low, and I'm really scared. I'm really scared for myself because if I don't get high enough grades, then I can't do my masters, and if I can't do my masters, I have to go back to my country, to my home country. My home country is a pretty bad place. I don't want to go back there. So yesterday I went to watch Thunderbolts. I kind of didn't want to, but also I didn't have anything else to do. I just really wanted to go out, to get out of the house, to get out of my room too, because I don't do that. I never get out of my room. I always stay inside and I have friends. And it's kind of depressing. And in all honesty, I didn't even go to the cinema to watch the movie. It's just that my cinema is in like a shopping mall and I wanted an excuse to go eat at a restaurant. And I thought that if I only went to the restaurant, I would feel lonely. So I thought, okay, the thing about cinemas is that they usually make me feel less alone. I don't know why. It's probably because I'm like watching these characters and I get attached to these characters because I get attached to things very quickly. And then they feel like friends to me. So then if I go eat at a restaurant alone, I don't feel that lonely. And it did work for me. But the other reason I was depressed this week was because I was sort of like, for the first time in my life, I felt very drained from my passions, you could say. I felt like I wasn't passionate anymore. I wasn't passionate about anything anymore. And more importantly, I was not passionate about art, which kind of broke my heart. Like, I've always wanted to create art. I've always wanted to create something that I could put out there into the world, and then someone who was as lonely as me could then consume that art and maybe feel less alone. And so therefore it would be like, in a sense, helping me, the way these movies and comic books and music have helped me in the past. Sort of to be there for someone else, like the way, for example, I don't know, The Big Lebowski has been there for me time and time again. High Fidelity, which is an amazing movie that I think a lot of people don't talk about, has helped me a lot multiple times. But this week I just didn't understand. I just didn't have any drive. I just thought, what was the point of me even trying to make a movie? It was never gonna be good. I don't think my movies are ever gonna be good. And even if I try to make one, it's just gonna be so difficult. So what's the point? What's the point of me trying to make a movie? Also, on the other side, I am a physics student, and this week I got so interested in physics. And for me, it's been like sort of like a lifelong thing where those two passions sort of go against each other. Because sometimes when I get overly excited about physics, I start thinking about a life where I only do physics, and that life sadly does not have any space for me or any like free time for me in which I could create art. But at the same time, I feel like I would be horribly fulfilled. Horribly used in a bad context here, but like I would be so fulfilled with that life, having a wife that loves me and I care for my wife, and having children who I care for, and then having a job, aka physics, like being a physics lecturer and doing some research on the side. That's such a cool life for me. I would be so happy with that life. And on the other hand, a life of making art, that sounds miserable. I would have to spend my entire 20s just going after trying to get money and like trying to get funding to make a specific feature length, or to constantly be making short films that I'm not really passionate about, just so that I get enough attention, so that I get funding for my feature length. And it's just so weird. And at the end of the day, even if I do make this feature length, it's not even gonna be owned by me. It's gonna be owned by the studio who invested in the movie. It's not gonna be me who actually made the movie. So it's just like a whole, like, it's such like a difficult thing to do, like to make art. And on top of that, the other problem I was having was that to me, physics looks like a much more sort of important work. It looks like much more important work, because if I actually end up having the job, I'm sort of, educating people, and then they go and have jobs. They can get a job or something, I don't know. Or like if I am really smart, I can like write a thesis, right? And that thesis might help the world and humanity in general. So to me, physics looks really important. But if I make a movie, people are just gonna watch it and then they're gonna forget about it. But nowadays, people watch a movie while scrolling on TikTok, so it's like they're not even focusing on the movie. So I do have a lot of guilt, because me making movies would be like the sort of the ultimate selfish thing I could do because it would just make me happy and nobody else. I mean, obviously, I would make movies that I would make movies with the intention of it being good and therefore bringing happiness to people. I guess, quote unquote, entertaining people. But ultimately, I'm sort of making movies for me. Like I would be making the movies that I would want to watch, hoping that other people would want to watch it as well. But that's it. It would be like the ultimate selfish thing to do, and I have a lot of guilt in that. But it would make me so happy. It would also be selfish because I would basically like the only way I can make movies if right now I'm in Malaysia, so the only way I can make movies is I study really well and then go do my masters in the UK, and then in the UK I've got 2 years to do my masters, maybe 1 year, I don't know, depends. But then in that 2 years to 1 year, sort of write a script, film a movie. Hopefully the movie blows up enough so that I can like get like an actual movie contract for like a feature length. Is that how you say feature length? A feature length movie or something. And then I can, I don't have to do my PhD. But if none of that works, I obviously have to do my PhD. So yeah, I'm saying the UK because it's like it does have like a movie industry. Mauritius doesn't have any movie industry, because that's my home country, and I can't really do it. And I can't really make a movie in Malaysia because Malaysian movies are sort of written in Malay, and I can't write Malay because I don't understand Malay. So that's bad too. Anyways, I was really depressed this week. I was not doing well. I was really not doing well. I was really sad. I barely ate. I didn't want to eat, which is why I was going to the restaurant, because the food was supposedly going to be so good in my head that I was going to be forced to eat. And even outside of the mathematics test thing that I didn't do well, my whole life is not. It's kind of bad. I don't have anyone who loves me right now romantically. I don't have a lot of friends. I have 2 friends. Both of them are like online, kind of. I don't have any real friends. One of my best friends, I consider her my best friend for at least a year. I sort of realized, oh, okay, she's not a good person because she does not care about me. Well, maybe she is objectively a good person. She just doesn't care about me, and that sort of made me like so angry. I blocked her, and I'm still angry with her. I'm not gonna unblock her. That thing is dead. I do not want to see her ever in my life ever again. Yeah, and the other thing is my CGPA is so bad. My CGPA right now is 3.3 over 4, which is horrendous, especially if I'm considering doing a master's. So I want to do a master's, I need to have a 3.7 at least, at the very least, because 3.7 is first class degree in the UK, and I can get into most universities. But the thing is, right now 3.3, I've got 5 semesters left. If I get 4.0 in every single semester, that's when I get a 3.7. Otherwise, I don't get a 3.7, which is bad, and that's so like stressful because I can't get a 3. I can't get a 4.0. I can never. It's obviously impossible for me to get a 4.0. I barely can do one single mathematics test correctly, and I'm getting 0 of that. It's like I feel like a failure. I am a failure. I am a mess. Nothing is working out for me. Nothing is working out for me. Nothing is working out for me. I'm wasting my father's money. I'm wasting everyone's money. I'm such a I waste everyone's time. I do not bring value in anyone's life. I don't know what I'm doing. And so I'm so horrible. I wish I was better at this, but I'm not. I'm just like this absolute mess of a human being. And it's not even like I am trying, but I'm so good at fucking things up. I'm just fucking things up one after another, like one after the other. I'm just fucking up back to back and back to back. It's nothing good is happening. Nothing good is ever happening. I'm being serious. I'm not even being hyperbolic. Nothing good is happening. The least, I don't know if you can even say that, but like the least bad thing that do happen to me would be considered to be mid. They are meh. Like the best thing that happened to me are meh. Like they're meh. Like they're okay average things. That they're neither horrible, neither good. So like imagine living a life where everything is average and bland, and then some other days everything is horrible. Insane. Anyways, even like when I went to the cinema hall, it wasn't everything wasn't going well either. Okay, everything was kind of going much worse. So the thing is, 10 a.m. shows are 15 ringgit, okay? But something I forgot was that shows at 3 p.m. are 30 ringgit. Basically, all you have to know in there is that 30 ringgit is much more expensive than 15, obviously. It's really expensive for me, at least as a student. But I thought, my dumbass thought, because in the morning, well, not in the morning, but yesterday when I was looking at the shows for the next day, I looked at 10 and I was like, oh, it's 15 ringgit. That's really good because 15 is just 15, you know? But my conclusion that I drew from that was it's 15 because most of the hall is already filled, and so therefore it's like a demand and supply thing. They want to quickly sell the remaining seats, you know, so they're decreasing the price, sort of discounting it. But that was wrong. They were completely wrong. What was happening was they were inciting, is that a word? Inciting people to come and watch morning shows, 10 a.m. that is, by lowering the price. And then when there was a lot of demand, which was usually in the afternoon or at night, the prices were going to be high. My dumbass thought in the morning, I was like, okay, I woke up late, by the way, because I'm having a horrible time sleeping, and the only show that was available was the 3 p.m. one. I was like, okay, obviously right now it's empty, so it's 30. So if I go there like really close to 3, it's gonna be 4, and then the price is gonna drop. I was like, yeah, I'm a genius for thinking that it's gonna be amazing. So I went there, 2:30. It was almost full, and for fuck's sake, it was still 30. And then I realized, okay, I'm like one of the most dumbest guy ever like to live on this earth. Okay, so that was good. And then I'm already broke. I was like, okay, never mind. I'm just gonna pay the 30 ringgit. For context, I only had 130 ringgit in my bag. Okay, so now the movie was 30 ringgit. The food at the restaurant was 50 ringgit, so that's 80 ringgit. And then we're also not considering the popcorn, which is even like the worst fucking part of the whole thing. I was like, okay, I'm gonna buy a popcorn. Popcorn is 15 ringgit. The 30 plus 15 is 45 ringgit. 45 plus 50 ringgit, that's 95 ringgit. Right now, so basically right now I only have 35 ringgit left in my bank account because originally I had 130 ringgit in my bank account. And it's only the start of May. Imagine living in 35 ringgit for a whole month. That's impossible. I'm so like fucked basically. So I was like, okay, you can't go watch a movie without eating popcorn. I chose the popcorn. I wanted salty and sugary like mix. Obviously, since I'm dumb, I chose the salted one, and I didn't even realize it until I fucking got the popcorn. Anyways, I was late because I had to pick up the popcorn. Okay, because the queue was really long. I pick up the popcorn. I go in the wrong cinema hall. I realized, okay, this is not an ad. This is actually like another movie playing, because I thought that the movie that was playing was like a trailer, and I was like, okay, I'm still good because the trailers are playing. Okay, good. I'm not late. 5 minutes into so-called trailer, I realized, oh, okay, it's a movie. I missed my hall, and then I like panic. I run around the whole cinema hall, and then I realized, oh, okay, I went to the top floor, to the second floor. My hall is actually in the first floor, so I go down, and I'm already like 10 minutes late. Thankfully, I was, when I got in, the movie was like Yelena was still in Malaysia. Like if people have seen the movie, it's still in Malaysia. So it's like very very early on, and she hasn't even like exploded the building yet, and she hasn't had the fight yet. It's the bit where she's talking to the scientist. But I really wanted to see that scene in its entirety, because like at the beginning she jumps from like from the building in Malaysia, which is the second tallest building in Malaysia. Second tallest building in the world. And I really want to see that because, Malaysia represent, and I'm like an international student in Malaysia right now. I want to see that, but I couldn't see because I'm dumb. Anyways, but the rest of it was really good. And it was so good. It was so good that I left the cinema hall happy. I felt less alone, and surprise, I was like filled up with so much purpose. Like I knew what I needed to do in my life. Like halfway in the movie, I was like, okay, yes, I am going to make movies, irrespective of what happens. I need to make movies, even if I end up being like a big shot physicist, which I don't think is gonna happen. But even if I end up being like a big shot physicist, I will have to make at least one movie. Why is that? The reason being that as soon as I sat in that fucking crowded, dark ass cinema hall, all of my problems just disappeared. I just forgot about everything, and I just focused in the movie. Focused on the movie. So yes, I just want to say, yes, it's that good. It really is that good. Especially if you're the type of person who's only been watching Marvel movies for the 10 past years. You wouldn't think this is like Citizen Kane. This is really good. It's like such a good movie. Objectively, just as a movie, independently of like whether it's a Marvel movie or not, I still think it's a good movie. It's a 7.5 out of 10, which is a very good score. Honestly, personally, I give it a 8.5, even a 9. I love it so much because of the topics it does, the themes it explores. Yes, it does explore it in a that's like the main negative I have with the movie. It explores it in a very surface level way, and it's not really subtle. Not that you need subtlety to explore these themes. It's just that it does it in such like a non-subtle way. It's almost cringe because it does deal with a lot of like depression and stuff. So everything is like straightforward. It's like, oh, I'm depressed. Oh, I'm alone. Oh, I'm sad now because I don't have any friends. I'm sad. The cure to depression is having hugs. So it's like, It's a very simplistic view. Yeah, okay, I think that's what I meant to say. It's a very simplistic view of an incredibly complex thing, which is bipolar and depression. You can't just solve it through hugs and stuff. What if you don't have anyone to give you hugs? Then what do? Do you just kill yourself? I don't think so. You still have to survive. The movie does not even sort of bother itself with these questions, and it does not do the job really. It just sort of like mentions stuff. It's kind of dark. It kind of solves it simplistically in a very simplistic manner and then moves on. The action is amazing, but the one thing that really hits home with this movie is that the sense of camaraderie. I think that's how you say it, camaraderie. The sense of like the friendship that the people have, that the characters have, that the people of the Thunderbolts have with each other is so cozy and wholesome. Especially if you're like depressed right now or sad, you go watch this movie, it will make you feel like you have friends. It will make you feel like, okay, I have a family who cares about me, even if yes, you don't have it. Okay, and yes, the movie does have a simplistic simplistic exploration of depression, or like pretty complex themes of depression, of like even domestic and all that, has a very simplistic view on these things and therefore solves it with simplistic solutions. It does make you emotional, kind of. On a scale of 1 to 10, you do kind of get like a 3.5 emotional. I almost teared up, which is very good, because at least I felt something, especially for a Marvel movie where you don't really feel stuff usually. So even if it does explore things very simplistically and on a very surface level, it does succeed in having an emotional effect on you, because even in the end, when the characters have gone through the things they've gone, even if yes, it is simplistic, you do get hope. I had hope for myself. I was like, okay, they went through stuff that was bad and they got through it, so maybe I can go through it too. So in that sense, the movie serves as a great piece of escapism. Not that escapism is bad. Escapism is good, okay? It depends on the type of person you are, or like the type of life you're leading. But for me, it was the perfect movie at the perfect time. The reason being, it sort of popped me with so much hope that I was like, okay, I can face my life. Also, another thing that I think a lot of people are not talking about that's in the movie, it's that this is one of the very few MCU movies out there that's about caring for each other, that's about caring for human people, and that's about the value of human life, essentially. Not the literal value of a human life, but more so the value of kindness and the amount of care you should have for someone who is having a difficult time, or who is going through a difficult phase in his life, or is having a meltdown. It shows you the value of handling someone with care, even if that person is just you. Because in the end, the only reason they are able to fight the big quote-unquote evil that sort of takes over the movie is by, first of all, taking care of themselves, and then taking care of the people around them, the quote unquote, that are in the team. So yeah, it just filled me with so much happiness. The performances are really good. Florence Pugh just like, wow, just like knocks it out of the park. I hope that's how the saying goes. She's so good, because I don't think the script gives her a lot to work with, but she's able to sort of like carry Yelena with so much like emotional fatigue. Like she's sort of worn out with all the complex emotions that she's feeling. And Bob, I think Lewis Pullman, I think that's the name of the actor that plays him, he's so good. And I think everyone was good. Walter, the sort of the quote-unquote bootleg Captain America, is so relatable, and like the way he's always irritated and annoyed and like full of anger, but like at the center of like at the core of his soul is just like this very vulnerable, hurting soul. It's just so cute. The whole movie is so cute. And then the Bucky entry scene, fuck yeah, like you guys should just go. Honestly, if you don't care about these things that I've just told you, you guys should just go for the action. The action is kind of sparse in the movie, yes, but when it does happen in the movie, it's so good. It's like one of the best action I've seen in a superhero movie in the recent times. It's really good. Okay, so I think that's it. I'm so happy. And by the way, I'm not a Marvel fan. I hate MCU. I hate the MCU, but I was so surprised. I hate the MCU so much. I thought Deadpool and Wolverine was like one of the worst fucking movies I had seen in a long time. I do think that's one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my whole life. It's just a gag reel. It literally has the same amount of substance as a Family Guy episode. And a Family Guy episode is just like gags back to back. That's it. And Deadpool and Wolverine and Deadpool is literally the same thing. It's just gags back to back with no substance. Any sort of substance that is brought into the movie is either because it's like a bootleg. I'm overusing the word bootleg, but it's essentially the same plot as Logan. The same character arcs as Logan. It's just that it's done in a much worse way. That's it. So I don't like the MCU, and I still liked it. I love this movie. I gave it a 4.5 on Letterboxd, but maybe biased because I feel like the whole depression thing hits home for me. I love that. I love that when it's sort of addressed in movies, even if they do it, they do a pretty surface level job at it. I loved it. It made me so happy. And now tomorrow, I have enough energy and like enough sort of passion for the cinema. I'm gonna go watch Sinners tomorrow. I hope that it's still in cinemas by tomorrow, because in my country it's not doing really well, so they're kind of pulling it out of cinemas. I just hope it's in the theaters tomorrow, and then I can watch it. So that's it. I love what they did with the movie. I'm so happy. I am so happy. I am so interested for what happens in the future with them. I honestly care more for them than the actual Avengers. I do not give a about Avengers Doomsday. I really do not, because I have a feeling that, especially that it's being directed by the Russo brothers, who are horrible at directing movies, by the way, that it's just gonna be a cameo fest. And then the Alan Silvestri, I think that's how we call him, the Alan Silvestri fucking Avengers theme is gonna play like 14 times in the movie. Shit ton of cameos, and then at some point Robert Downey Jr. is gonna be like, "I am Doom," or "Your doom has come for you," whatever with your shit. But I'm only gonna watch Doomsday just because with the hope of seeing Yelena and the Thunderbolts there and watching Bob there, because I love Bob. That said, I hope you have a good weekend. If I am able to this video out in the weekend. That's it. I hope this ramble video was a little bit more focused and less rambly, and I was going less on tangents. That's it. Have a good life and stuff. Bye.